Hello, friends, and welcome back to another Needlessly Nostalgic. I am one of your hosts, Tyler Nichols, with my other host, Mr. Lance Velchek. Lance, we're already done with our summer soiree, but it's been a blast to do.
Yeah, dude. I love that we switched it around. We did some things we normally don't talk about, but you and me love in our personal lives, and with essentially Mad Max on water is always a good time. I'm glad we got to do Waterworld. I've been trying to get this done for a long time.
Yeah, we've literally talked about doing Waterworld since Needlessly Nostalgic started, because we've discovered that we both liked the film. I just want to say, because Waterworld has always been considered a bomb. Waterworld is not a bomb. They actually were able to financially make the money back. So, like, as much as they want to treat this like it's Cutthroat Island, like it's Ishtar, it's not. It's a crazy expensive movie that went super over budget, but also Jaws did as well. Filmed on open water, had almost the exact same schedule increase. And when you look at the behind the scenes of this, it's even more fascinating that how they were even able to get this made, because they were able to do like 5 to 6 setups a day, which is nothing, especially for an action movie. So there's so much with this that's just insanely impressive. I've always liked the set design and all that stuff, but like the last 2 years, I like everything about this movie. And I'm not sure if I've said it on the podcast before, but I am not a big Kevin Costner fan. So the fact that I do like it so much, I think speaks to just the film itself. Let's get into it. Waterworld from 1995. Directed by Kevin Reynolds / Kevin Costner, written by Peter Rader, David Twohy, and starring Kevin Costner, Jeanne Tripplehorn, Dennis Hopper, Tina Majorino, and wait a minute, where is he? I don't see the guy. I wanted to do the guy who flies around in the air that's in a bunch of movies, but I can't find him on the list because they clearly this order's all over the place. Michael Jeter. There he is. Michael Jeter. Old Gregor. Yeah.
I'm not sure who that even is, dude.
It's the crazy old man that like is in the
the guy, Mr. He has Bojangles in the Green Mile.
Yes. Well, and we are going to be talking about the Ulysses cut and the theatrical cut together. We'll go over like some of the differences. But obviously, there's going to be a lot of focus on the Ulysses cut just because it has 40 extra minutes, gives more context to things. And because they are both essentially the same movie, it's just different pacing and more context. Things are extended to a pretty crazy degree at times. Like, we're to the point where watching the theatrical version, because I actually watched the Ulysses cut and then I watched the theatrical version after, and it was like, oh, wow. Things are moving at a fucking brisk pace in this versus, I liked the Ulysses cut and how much you just get to sit in that world and get just more context to things, with whether it's like the elders at the atoll or even Dennis Hopper's group of thugs. Like, you just get a slight more context for things, which I like the context of it all.
Yeah. No. This is, let's dig into it, because this is my first time ever watching the Ulysses cut, which is funny because I've heard of many different cuts in my life. I'd never heard of this until the Arrow thing came out. Maybe just because of my years of getting bashed by liking Waterworld, I just stopped looking into it and just kept it as a movie for myself. But I'm surprised that this isn't something that I've been unaware, or I'm surprised that I've been unaware of it, because I would have been hardcore into getting this made. I would have been vocal online. So I'm glad people are doing God's work for me, because as somebody who loves the theatrical cut, I'm just going to start off by saying this is a superior cut in every way. And all it does is just make me respect the story more, dude. I'm sorry. Yeah, the tone's different, but in fact, instead of like an action movie, we get like a soulful adventure through a fucking wild, different world. That's what the Ulysses cut is. It's movie action, but it's an adventure movie. Well, it's an adventure movie where we hang out. I
should say in terms of the context behind the Ulysses cut. So The director, Mr. Kevin Reynolds, was rumored to have left the production at a certain point, and Costner took over. And Costner also took over in the edit to get rid of 40 minutes of footage. But then there were a bunch of that footage was brought back for the TV edit. TV edit had stuff that then the fans of the film then went back in. They wanted to do an ultimate cut that utilized the theatrical cut with the broadcast TV edit, and that would eventually become the Ulysses cut. Which the fascinating thing about it is the Ulysses cut is a fan cut that then Universal was like, wow, yeah, this is great. And they actually went back to the original negative and made the Ulysses cut from scratch with that, like going off of the fan edit. Because obviously the fan edit used like a 4:3 TV, like the aspect ratio, which would have been just not looked as good. And so it's cool that they actually went back and did that. However, we also need to make sure to state, like, they did this well after, like, what, it would have been 25 years later. There's a big difference in quality at certain points in the film. I don't think it destroys the experience by any means. It's just different. You would notice like the audio being pretty soft.
Yeah, a little uneven. Yeah.
Yeah. And you really notice there's a lot of bad green screen towards the end of the film, which that's because it wasn't complete. Like that stuff wasn't completed. And so what we're getting is what they were able to then like bump it up to without changing anything drastically. And so there are little things, but for the most part, I think it looks great. I've watched fan edits and they don't look nearly as good.
No, there are points where I was like, I know I've never seen this, but it looks like it matches 100%. So it's like that film negative really, really helps out. And I want to bring up real quick, and this could be rumored, but I remember hearing about it back in the day. And I've seen some things online, but it's never been confirmed that Costner had a big ego at this time, and he was coming off of every single hit. I mean, the reason Costner is leading this big of a movie is because at the time Costner was a god. But we all forget this. I know we're in a Yellowstone time, but like this motherfucker came out of Field of Dreams, JFK, the war. I mean, he was doing really well. So
Wyatt Earp was the bomb right before this, but that didn't. I don't think that affected his ego massively.
Because even after this, they still gave him the Postman. The Postman's actually what killed his career. But Postman and this, and probably Wyatt Earp. But his ego led him to clash with the director. And I was under the impression the director left because Costner was such a prick.
Yes.
And so demanding. And then, of course, taking over the edit. This is essentially what happened on Payback. The difference is that Payback, I think, changed the tone so significantly. It was a different movie. Whereas Waterworld, Costner, I don't disagree, made a tighter movie, and maybe for the audience in 95, this is perfect.
Softened his character as well. Like Mariner is very softened in the theatrical version.
Which is funny because like my whole life I thought he was a dick, and then I watched this. That's like, okay, he's more of a dick. But even in the original, he still fucking knocks out Gina Triplehorn, still throws the girl off the boat. So it's like stuff like that I still got to appreciate. But Costner, like most actors, eventually like get too full of themselves, and I do think, you know, he probably deserves some movie jail time, not as long as he got. Yeah. But he is the reason they filmed on water. I mean, he basically threw his dick around and was the issue for a lot of this. Mm-hmm. So I am glad that time has passed and that this is able to be released, because I'd assume a man that still had that ego would probably fight this or come out against it. And I haven't seen anything negative. So I'm kind of hoping that like he's softened his stance and maybe even likes this, because this is one of those things that like he got shit for Waterworld for a very long time. I mean, this was like the late night TV would be like, you know, about Waterworld. So I do hope that this cut changes the narrative before I die. How about that?
Yeah, that would be great, because it deserves to have a little bit of a resurgence. And like the most ironic thing about the whole Kevin Reynolds and the like fallout from that, Kevin Reynolds did not want to do this movie because of Costner. They had like the producer had to like lock them in a room together to like get them to hash out their differences because Reynolds directed Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, and he said that Costner his ego was out of control. Or then it's like this movie essentially destroyed their friendship. I don't know if they were able to reconcile. Wasn't able to find that information out, but like there were already cracks due to Robin Hood, and it's like, and Robin Hood is the example of his ego going out of control, but it working. There's all this weird shit. He's not doing the accent. It's like very blockbustery. Well, it's such a, I love that movie. I don't think it's good, but I love it.
I love it too, because it's not good, but it's I believe the most successful one since, because the fucking other one bombed. So, I mean, like, it did well. Like, it also had, Hans Gruber was the bad guy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Alan Rickman had Morgan Freeman, like,
Christian Slater. What a 90s movie. Yeah. God, I love it.
God, yeah. And like, I can't remember the girl in it, but the girl in it was also fantastic. Like, just, yeah, hit in ways that were then, obviously, Costner then on Waterworld is like, well, guess what? I know what's right.
Yeah.
I did, which obviously didn't work out, but holy shit. The sets in this, the sets are just fucking mind blowing. It made me go, oh, they would have just shot this on green screen or in the volume. Isn't that what the Disney thing is called? The
tank?
No, the volume, the one that they shoot all the Star Wars stuff on with the screen that can then project.
100%.
It's like we wouldn't have gotten, which also I understand why we wouldn't have gotten this. This production went from like 65 days to like 165. It went like way over budget. They had to, because they didn't have bathrooms on the ships and like on the atoll. They had to literally like boat people over to this like barge that had porta potties on it. It sounded absolutely awful. And it sounds like they were getting seasick all the time, which I found ironic. I guess the solution was ginger snaps, the cookies.
Oh, interesting.
I guess that helps with seasickness, because that's what they got a bunch of, and that like it helped out. But it's like, it's all this shit where it's like, yeah, and they 5 to 6 setups a day. That's nothing. Could you, like, I kept thinking about that the whole time where I'm like, oh yeah, I wonder how many of these are just like 1 take or 2 takes where they're just like, okay, we got it, move on.
We got it. The thing about shooting in the ocean though, is that it just feels different. That's why the first Jaws is still scary. Mm-hmm. It's because seeing that open ocean where you put a tank, you put a green screen, all of a sudden you extend the ocean. But many of these shots, I'm looking at the horizon the entire time. I'm looking past that. I'm like, oh my God, how beautiful and gorgeous everything is, just because of the vastness.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Did you spot land at any time? Because like in like the Jaws 4K, there's times where it's like, oh shit, there's land right there that I never even noticed. I didn't notice land ever.
No, there's a couple helicopter shots where it's on Costner's boat, and it's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. It's like, oh, those guys are, I mean, land could be 100 feet behind him, but regardless, that's the magic of movies. So it's like, it just gives this vastness. And I'm having it on TV behind me. Like I'm at the atoll, right? And there's Costner's in his cage. And what do I see outside of the top of the place? Is just the vast darkness of the ocean. And it's like, dude, there's just something about that. I mean, like you said, I get why they don't do this anymore, but goddamn, am I happy we got it, because nothing can look this good again. And a good example, it's a great movie. A great movie was Furiosa. Furiosa's big problem is though, is it fucking has a lot of shit where it's like, oh, I can clearly tell that we got a truck, we got a chick, and there's some blue green screen like 10 feet behind. Where it's like this, you always feel the vastness of the ocean. I just think that's important. I think that really, really shows you the magic of movie making, man. And that's, I guess, before we dig into more, I guess what confuses me about why people hate this is it's Mad Max on water.
Yeah.
It's just American. It's just Yankee. Like, I guess I was thinking about this. So Mad Max movies are kind of strange, just like this one. But do you think the strangeness lends itself to the Aussie attitude? These fucking people gave us Yahoo Serious, Paul Hogan. They call everybody cunts. They drink in their backyard. They're wild people, but have probably one of the most restrictive governments. They're just strange people down below. But when you translate it to the Yanks and we're doing it, I felt it seems stranger, even if this is essentially the same damn thing.
Yeah, I would agree. It does feel strange. Well, I was shocked that there's no cannibal aspect in this film. You would almost expect there to be cannibals.
Yeah, because we're Americans. We're just too damn optimistic. Yeah. This is like, it's the whole movie has a lot of like heart, like the smokers are bad, but everybody else is like usually a good person outside of like maybe Kim Coates. But for the most part, it's like there's a lot more humanity in this, which I guess I would have liked it to be darker, but at the same time, I felt the epicness of this was fine. I'm just thinking, like, did it not work because Yankees doing an Australian type of story doesn't translate? Because it's the same fucking thing. If Costner was like, hello, was that English? I can't do an Aussie accent.
I don't know the different sex of like, as in SECTS. Like of the British language to know what like Londoner might have been like.
Yeah, that's good.
Hello, governor.
Yeah, I guess I was doing the worm from the labyrinth. But either way, if Costner was more of an Aussie, whoa, if that might have been English, I can't do. Regardless, I'm just saying.
You're saying you want Mel Gibson.
But I think Gibson has more depth to his acting and his whole thing. So I think Gibson's a better actor. But I respect the fact that Costner didn't try to play this tough as the mariner, as the thing. He plays it very like, I'm annoyed that I have to do something because I just want to get back to fucking surviving. I think that's a very interesting aspect, especially for a hero, because you want the hero to, especially if we're going to start off with him being more of an anti-hero, which in 95 is pretty impressive. In 99, we got Tony Soprano, and ever since then, everybody's an anti-hero. At this point, that was not the case. Yeah. I mean, The Rocketeer was just, a little bit before, and that was, oh, shucks, let's fight the Nazis. but the fact that he plays it so reserved, I actually really like. I could see it not being a popular decision, but he's like, I came for the girl. Not, I came for the girl, or he's like, I came for the girl. Yeah. He's like, she's my friend. I'm like, Costner, come on. Can't fucking hate him.
He's a survivor. It's like all of his decision making. He's all just about being a survivor. Like it's like the moment that you can tell, or he's like he just like won't take shit, is the opening with that guy that takes his limes, where it's like Costner didn't have to take out his boat,
but that got him killed. Yeah,
but that dummy. Because that dummy didn't have to do, like, all he has to do, fucking don't show Costner that you took his limes. Like, he thinks that Costner's screwed because he doesn't know Costner's able to get his sales up super quick like that. And then he's like, it's essentially like a fuck you.
Yeah,
which
brag. I got you.
Yeah, which then fucks him over because it's like, oh, you dumbass. If you hadn't done that, Costner wouldn't have taken out your sale.
Yeah.
And it's such a good moment.
Gets him killed.
Yeah,
because
totally.
They look back and they're literally the smokers are murdering them.
No, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense because like they're shooting at him, and then when it cuts back, the guy's like already on the boat and like getting him with like a machete. I'm like, wait, didn't you shoot him? It seemed like you were shooting him.
They wanted more of a hand on hand. Yeah, it's an edit, but we're not supposed to notice that because we're too involved in the costness of it all. Yeah. I was going to say the first, obviously the old men outside of the little village trying to get give their beards up for the water is the first thing I noticed. But the big thing in the Ulysses cut that I was impressed with is the little town hall meeting where they're using all the corny stuff that we grew up with, like the Thigh Master, to say that he's a spy, that and the flute. I was like, that's something that I get why they cut, but it shows the humanity of these people and that they do have like a sort of governance. And I was like, by cutting that out, yes, quicker movie. But I'd argue that's a really important thing. And I really feel bad for the girl, too. The older woman, you notice? There's a woman that probably got her SAG card or was trying to because she had like 5 lines. And that bitch just cut out the whole movie, the theatrical cut. But when she's like, give the kid up. I was like, again, you can cut it out and the movie survives. But by leaving it in, now that I know that Gina Triplehorn is now more worried about them fucking. So even if things don't go south like they do, these people want to get rid of that fucking kid. Was it Enola? Her name's so weirdness.
Yeah, Helen and Enola.
Enola. But the fact that they're willing to give them up to the smokers, I think, really changed the dynamic of the town. And I was like, why would you remove that? Like her urgency to leave and get with the Mariner, Mr. Kevin Costner, makes a lot more sense. Not that it didn't, but it adds motivation that I think is key.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. And well, I want to ask you about the ship, like Costner's ship, because I have always thought this is the coolest fucking thing. I had the toy set. Like, it was to this day, it is probably my favorite ship. I mean, I love like the Captain Ron ship, but it's like that's a fun little pirate ship. In terms of like a unique ship, I love this so much.
I also had the toys. No, it's my favorite ship. Again, outside of Captain Ron, as like a sailing ship, especially just the way it's set up. Like, I know it's movie magic, so the downstairs always looks bigger. I get that, but I love the giant nets, the little chairs that he has, like everything about this, and his little hand crank. It's fucking cool, man. And they really sell it. I mean, there's like 7 shots, and I think there's more in the Ulysses cut where it's Costner, and then they do a helicopter backup just to show you that, like, nope, he's on this real ship. It's a real ship. It's fucking sailing the 7 seas, man. Yeah. Well, it's probably just the Pacific, but regardless.
He sailed on it for I think 6 weeks before production, so that then he like really felt like it felt lived in, and that he knew what he was doing and like knew the geography of it. It's like that
makes sense.
Yeah, and he's super comfortable on it. And dude, one moment that like I've thought about so much, since being a kid, like we opened the film up and he's drinking his own pee.
Yes. Which is extended in the Ulysses cut, because I think it's just like he like shakes and that's it. He has like a filtration system, which is smart, because he's not, I think he even says at one point to Helen, Miss Triplehorn, like we ate or we drank a couple days ago. So it's like it's just enough to get him by,
Yeah. Which then even it's funny because then obviously way later on, when he does the fishing, it's just like, wait, you can just do this at any time? Then why the fuck don't you have like more food around?
I thought about that. Refrigeration.
Oh yeah.
Surprise just gets it, eats it, and that's it.
Yeah, no refrigeration. Because then, I mean, too, thought about that with the water. Because I actually thought about when he was drinking his piss water. So I'm like, oh, it's got to be fucking warm. But then it made me realize, like, oh, I bet all the water that he drinks is warm.
Yeah, nothing's cold. It's all sweaty and hot. But it does go back to like my absolute love of the sea, because like even as a kid, I was like, oh, this is the life. Yeah, there's murderers and there's Hopper and monsters, which are all pluses. But he's just sailing around, man. Just sailing. Yeah. I mean, they really, it's like porn, sailing porn. The amount of like gratuitous, epic helicopter shots of him just living it up in the wide ocean.
Have you ever been able to notice? Because I know that they spent like, I think it was like $5 million on Costner's hairline, like CGI hairline, because like there's some shots where it's like really bad receding, and so they like went in and evened it out. I've always tried to keep an eye out for it, and I've never been able to notice.
No, in fact, I even wrote my note that I was impressed that the lead of a movie was balding. Because there's multiple shots. Anytime his hair's wet, you see his scalp, and even dry. It's like, I got to be honest. I feel like they wasted their money, because to me, it's like, oh, good. I'm glad that middle-aged bald men could have a lead role, one last time before everybody was hot.
Maybe it looked worse. Maybe it was like more spotty, like more patchy.
How weird.
I don't know.
In fact, his hair is cool. When I was a kid, I actually wanted this hair. I grew my hair out long for like 1 year of my life. I couldn't pull it off. I don't have the face type, but like this style,
yeah,
I love, but I didn't notice he was bald as a kid. I should say that. Now that I'm adult, that's all I kept noticing. I'm like, and he had a little belly too. And I was like, good. And fucked up teeth. I was like, yeah. Men used to be in movies. Because his teeth are all fucked up, dude.
Oh yeah. The Costner teeth. That's like always what we'd refer to it as, with like the Costner teeth. Like, yeah, the bottom, like it's fine if the fronts can, or the tops can be straight, but then the bottoms can just be a mess. Which, I think that's just there's you can notice that with many actors because of Costner. I definitely paid attention to it, and it's a common thing.
See, I never paid attention to teeth back in the day, so it's just something I notice more now.
No,
but they would never allow this. It's all veneers now. I mean, even that's something that. I mean, obviously they probably took note from the Aussies, but for the most part, I think the little girl might be the big one, but everybody else had dirty teeth. And I really was like, okay, that's a detail that you really don't have to use. Most people will just be okay with it. Nowadays,
they'd be chiclets, and it'd be like, why the hell are their teeth so white?
But here, it's like a lot of people had like fake dirt, and I was, especially the smokers. I was like, it's a good detail, man. I'm happy for that shit.
The smokers, it was like they just rubbed tar all over their teeth. They definitely had a bunch of stage makeup. Did you notice too on the atoll they have like this large tree?
Yeah, because in the Ulysses cut they actually cut it down, and I was like, I don't remember there ever seeing that part.
But like,
is that in the theatrical? No, right?
No, I don't think so.
Because I think the destruction of that place, it goes on a lot longer. Like there's a lot more of them like fucking around with it, which I'm like, okay.
Everything, damn near every single scene has like, just even if it's a little, has more. Like just a bit, just a taste more, which just helps it out. Even the blonde dude, the right hand man, the henchman. I feel like he gets a bit more characterization.
Yeah, no, 100%. What is that fucker guy's name? Because the picture they have on IMDb doesn't look like him, so it always throws me off.
He steals the. And I want to say too, because I didn't realize this until not this viewing, but like a viewing before. The place that Mariner Kevin Costner goes to in the very beginning is clearly like a ski resort, because it's obviously something that's high up on a mountain, but he gets those ski boots. Those boots that he throws up that then the blonde guy steals, those are just ski boots.
I never even noticed that.
Yeah. So then like which then we get like the weird, what's that, Thigh Master?
Yeah, Thigh Master, the spy tool.
Yeah, clearly all this shit that he would have gotten from like and I'm just assuming that it was a ski resort, because that makes sense, because it would be higher. It would be closer to the surface, since it's obviously ski resorts are up near mountains. So it's just a fun little detail that I was like, oh yeah, I never noticed it. But I also was thinking, I'm like, ski boots suck to walk in.
No, they're the worst. They're the worst. You have to basically hodl.
Yeah.
No, I didn't catch that. But I go back to the blonde guy though. Yeah, even him being, I guess, I don't want to say they gave him more to do per se, but like just having him around more. I always liked him. I've always liked that guy. He was a good bad guy.
Yeah.
Irish. His hair was ridiculous. And there's just something about him. Like something out of, which I guess would have been around the same time. No, I think it was here before. Like this whole movie kind of feels like people out of No Escape, but that bad guy especially feels like he would have been the right-hand man in No Escape. So I'm glad that they gave him more to do.
His name is Nord, like NordVPN.
Dude, look at his picture. I mean, go to Google, look at his picture. Like you don't recognize him. It's like, how the fuck does he look like this?
Yeah, his IMDb. It's Gerard Murphy, for those that are curious. He unfortunately passed away in 2013. But yeah, he's Judge Faden in Batman Begins.
That's what I was reading. But it's like, I got to watch Batman Begins because I've no. He was in Sorcerer too. I don't know. Great bad guy. Great henchman.
He was in Sorcerer?
And I mean, we haven't. What's up?
Did you say he was in Sorcerer?
Yeah.
Oh, that's like a movie that I've been like tempted. I've been very close to buying the 4K of.
It's great, but it's not exactly the movie you think it is.
Okay, good to know. Well, maybe I'll just watch it streaming before I make the jump to purchasing. Because I like that. That guy has always stood out to me as just a great. We're talking about great henchmen. We've talked about it in the past. Like, this guy's a fucking fantastic henchman. He's a
great goon.
There's that moment, goon. There's a moment way out later on where they're on like the smoker ship, and he's like talking shit to Enola, and he's taking Dennis Hopper's like vodka, and he's replacing it with water, like a child.
She's like, you shouldn't do that. Yeah. That's a great scene. I was going to wait, but I guess since we're on it real quick. The girl, let me pull up her name because Enola is such a weird name to me. I always just thought it was the little girl.
Yeah.
But when she's hyping up Costner
Oh, dude.
To the fucking guy. And it's this cute little like speech by a girl. Like, he's going to find you. He'll kill little girls. And he's like blowing smoke in her face. He's just being such a fucking prick. But it keeps cutting to Costner murdering people as he's going up. I was like, dude, that's movie making. You want to know what brings me joy in life is that exact scene. I was like, I love that. He's going to find you and he'll kill kids. He'll kill anybody. He'll hide in the shadows. It's fucking, the editor's just cutting back to him, just murdering motherfuckers and like make his way up. I'm like, dude, I'm getting like goosebumps. I'm like, dude, we don't make movies like this anymore.
Dude,
and he's just, that guy's like loving it also because he keeps messing with the girl. I mean, and I don't know what was in the script, but just these little like ticks he was doing and like insulting little things. I was like, oh, I can't hate the goon, even though like I can't wait for him to get killed because she's basically saying like he's gonna find you and he's gonna fucking kill you.
It's such a good moment, and it's edited slightly different in the Ulysses cut. It's
longer, isn't it?
Yeah, it's much longer. It's less punchy, but also like most of again, that's this entire movie, every single scene is extended in the Ulysses cut. There, we spend so much more time at the atoll. There's so much, which also, because you mentioned it's like Costner doesn't become a good guy until like 2 hours in. And it's like, even in the theatrical cut, it's an hour 20 because it's after they get away from the ambush that Dennis Hopper does, which in the Ulysses cut, we find out because he's trying to sell them to the slavers.
Yeah, that's a weird thing because that's the point where you think he's done it. I mean, I guess I can understand as an editor and even as Costner, like there's a lot of like, okay, he's pretty much good, and then immediately he does something kind of dickish, which I guess is in character, but they do it really long. I like it though because to me that's the perfect example of like of going against expectation or what's the word, the verbiage they use now, that
subverting expectations.
Subverting expectations, because the whole scene that wasn't in the original movie is that they find the fucking floating little thing of the survivors and he leaves again.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, fuck it, I'm out. It's like that. That's literally right before the last 20 minutes of the movie. So it's like, dude, then he finds the drawings and then he's like, okay, I'm the good guy. But it's like that happens though right at the end. So it's like he goes to see, like you said, he's going to sell him, and that's after he like, we know that he likes him. He's a good person. Mm-hmm. And then after he saves you in the triple and breathes in her mouth, that awesome scene underwater that I always remember as a kid. Yeah. Even after that, he fucking still ditches him. Yeah. He takes her to safety. He's like, I'm fucking out. I'm not going to help you find your stepdaughter.
Is in the Ulysses cut, did they have him teaching her to swim, or is that cut? Yeah. Okay, it is.
No, it's in there. I think it's longer. Okay. I believe it's shorter in the other one because she Triple was like, what are you doing? And then they just they're just there for a while, just like going around. It's epic. Yeah. It's fucking beautiful.
I love that underwater shot of her like holding on to him as they go
he's
under.
Like fucking doing low. Yeah.
It looks so good. Did you know that Samuel L. Jackson and Gary Oldman both turned down the role of Deacon?
Really?
Yeah.
I did not. I mean, wait, Samuel Jackson, who else?
Gary Oldman.
Fuck. I could see Oldman pulling this off really well, but I guess he was probably coming off of or around the same time he was doing The Professional, which is essentially his version of The Deacon anyway, so I'm fine.
Yeah.
In fact, I was happy. What I noticed this time around, especially in the Ulysses cut, is I felt The Deacon was a lot more fun. Like, I'm not saying he wasn't in the theatrical. I remember him always being kind of like wacky, but I still remember him being more threatening. And this, there's a few scenes that I was like, again, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't ever remember this in the theatrical cut. He looks at like a picture of the guy who owned the ship, the captain from fucking like 95. And he treats him like a god. He's like, I'm doing this for you. Like, we're almost there. Fucking like John Silverman.
So that's not in the theatrical cut. But the photo is behind him at one point.
But acknowledging it was like, I was like, that's little shit like that. I don't remember. Like, I do think it adds depth, but not in the way that, like, essentially he's a bad guy. But I felt like the Costner cut, which is what I'm going to call the theatrical, of course, I thought made him a little more menacing. I was actually very surprised how not goofy, but like, I guess the wackiness plays up more, which, you know, it's the world they're in. So I was very happy by that. There's a few of those things that, I mean, I'm going to mention this. It's in the theatrical cut, but I fucking forgot about it. Because it's the only time in the entire movie, outside of Costner playing some jazz, that they have like a musical cut. He's like, let's drive. And they cut to the Blues Brothers music. Now, that might have been before the Blues Brothers. It might have been. Mm-hmm. But that theme song, it's by Peter Gunn, is so iconic to the Blues Brothers that all you would do if you put in a movie is not acknowledging the Blues Brothers. And it's a fucking badass scene. And like, dun, 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 and the car's getting pushed and all the little kids are smoking cigarettes, making bullets. I mean, again, that's why this movie's great. That's the tone. I understand if people want it darker, I normally would myself. But that has that sort of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles hideout for the fucking Foot Clan kind of thing too, where I'm like, oh, I am fucking fully invested. Yeah. Fully invested.
When I think they do, one thing I really liked about the Ulysses cut too is how it makes more sense with the smokers showing up at the atoll. Because in the theatrical cut, everything just feels very fast. Like the guy leaves, we still get the nighttime scene, but we're not in it enough. We're not like in any of this where then you're like, wait, how did Nord then get to the smokers, inform them, and then back? I don't have that issue in the Ulysses cut because there's enough time passing where you can feel the time passage. That then you're like, okay, yeah, enough time that would have passed for them to have then been able to swarm the atoll, because even then I think it could be in the theatrical cut as well. But I like too that Hopper acknowledges that like they didn't have to take out that place. They wanted the girl. Like they have enough supplies. They wanted the girl.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I don't think that is in theatrical. I could be wrong though. It's hard to say because there's like you said, everything's extended. So it's like
little bits.
I'm taking this thing, but yeah, he goes, it's not like we don't need anything here. It's almost like a waste of time, but they do it to do it. Yeah. I mean, and I assume Nord was always the spy because they were like, because they thought Costner was a spy. It's like, no, Nord was always a spy. So it was like, I'm assuming the Mariner coming in with the dirt. I just assumed like, okay, and that's a little more extended. Like, okay, he has dirt that's from dry land. There's nowhere else could be because obviously people don't know that it's under you. I mean, Jim Triplehorn says that like, oh, it's I saw it myself. It's under here. It's under us. But I'm assuming that tipped him off and like, okay, and the girl with the tattoo. So I think it was just like the perfect timing. But like letting that breathe makes it more adventurous. Mm-hmm. You know, that's all this stuff is doing. That's I think why the Ulysses cut works because normally I could argue, and I think you're even more of this is where it's like pacing does matter. Yes. Sometimes like I love Army of Darkness director's cuts and I love being that world, but I will admit the pacing is better than theatrical. It's just like we're going to rock and roll. Yeah. Here, I don't think the pacing actually affects it. I actually think it makes the story make more logical sense, which you could be okay without. Yeah. But here, I never felt like it slows down. I'm like, oh, let's get back to the smokers. It actually just makes it feel like we're in this big sandbox where all these little things are happening, and right now we're exploring this section. And I never felt like I wanted to like hurry up. That makes sense.
I would compare it to the James Cameron special editions, whether it's T2 or Aliens,
Good example.
It's just giving you more context to the world. Technically, the pacing is slightly off just because you're extending stuff. Like your first act is getting extended past where you logically, like your brain would go, oh, aren't we getting into act 2 by now? So you can, even if you're not into movies, you might subconsciously notice that in this, and that can happen here as well. But if anything, like watching the theatrical cut, there were times where I was like, oh my God, like we're already here. Oh, like this is already happening. Because there's a lot of changes. One thing that I noticed big time was how much they really go after he's a mutant, he's not human. They really lay that point in, especially Michael Jeter's, I can't remember his character's name, but yeah, really,
the old man, it's a
old
lot.
Gregor, yeah. I'm like, holy crap, you're really going into, like, you've said this so many times of like, you're not human, mutant. Like, Jesus.
I don't remember it being in the theatrical cut, but I could be wrong. But is when he pulls him up, when he saves him at the very end, he says like, oh, I think Triple M's like, oh, he saved us. And he goes, oh, how human of you. I never remembered that line.
That's not there. Yeah.
But that, again, that's really, selling the fact that, that's because, it's just his gills and behind his ears and his toes. So he's pretty much human, but that's enough where they're hammering home. Even the ending where he's like, I got to go find my people, which I don't remember that ever being in the theatrical. I think it's just like he goes, I don't feel that it doesn't move right here.
Yeah.
Which I always remembered. First as a kid, I was like, oh, that's so interesting because if your existence was on water, land doesn't move right. Like that's a cool detail. I like that.
Land sickness is what Enola says. All of us are feeling it. It'll go away.
Yeah, dude. Land sickness.
Yeah. It's like, no, he's definitely ingratiated in like the water. Like that is his home, being on the water. Did you notice that Jack Black is one of the smokers?
No, even as a kid. He has a line in this, which he never had when I was a kid, or at least an extended line. When I was little, he's one of the smokers. But he bitches about losing his friend, and Dennis Hopper's like, "We'll get you a new friend."
Yeah,
and I was like, "Oh, weird." But he's kind of clunky. Do you know what I said?
Yeah, he's a little. Yeah, it's definitely one of his first roles. Yeah. He's pilot smoker. For those that are curious, he's at 5104 or 5401 and 5932. Because he shows up, obviously he's flying the plane, which is when his friend gets killed, and then he bitches to Dennis Hopper about his friend dying.
And there's a lot of weird cameos. Sean Whalen's in this, which I never remember him being in. I'm assuming he was cut. He's one of the Boyles from Always Sunny. There's a guy from Jason X. Oh my gosh, what's his name? It's a weird one. Remember Jason X where they talk to some guys like laying in a bed? Yeah, he has kind of a weird voice. He's in this, and his name's Robert Silverman.
He's the Aronofsky uses him a bunch, isn't he? Aronofsky's go-to.
I think it's Cronenberg.
Oh, is it Cronenberg? Okay,
it's Cronenberg. Yeah, because he's in Scanners. Okay. But he pops up. There's the
Robert
Asian guy.
Joy.
I'm sorry, who?
Robert Joy.
Yes, Robert Joy. Oh my God, there's that cool. The cool black guy from Serpent and the Rainbow. I think it's like Zax. He's a weird name, but he's real cool. A lot of random people in this, dude. A lot of random folks. My entire life, I should say, up until somewhat recently, I think he's the enforcer. He's the good guy, the sheriff, we should say, who is basically like, hey, we can't kill him. We have to have a trial.
Yeah.
Is that not William Forsythe's brother? I mean, I know it's not, but I swear my life, he has a William Forsythe fucking face, a voice. Yeah, I thought it was him.
Yeah, he looks like it for sure. It's like one of those guys who are just like, wait a minute, who are you?
Bobo Forsythe? Is that what you call?
Bobo Forsythe.
It's a cast of everybody, man. Yeah. Even was it? Let me look him up. Robert Lasardo. He's like the guy that always plays like a Mexican gangster. I saw him in this as well. I was like, dude, it's everybody. Yeah. I mean, I guess this was it's hard to tell people, but this was such a big fucking deal. This was such a big deal. This was toys. They promoted it. I saw it like 5 times in theaters. My Nana, God rest her soul, loved Kevin Costner. And so she took me to see it. And she's like not into these kind of movies, but she was so enamored with the sets and the costumes. She's a big costume girl. She would always talk about like costume designers that like we went back a few times and saw it. I went and saw this with my fucking grandma like 4 times because she was like, Kevin Costner's such a cutie and the costumes are so interesting. I was fucking like, man, it was such an awesome fucking grandma.
That's so cool. I did not see this in theaters, unfortunately. I saw this on VHS.
Oh, 95. I mean, yeah, how old are you in 95?
Dude, you say that, but like I saw Jurassic Park in theaters, and that was 93.
That's a good point.
Yeah. I was a theater. I was going to call myself a theater kid. I was not a theater kid. I was a movie theater kid. I like to be in, I could handle being in a movie and was completely silent and enthralled. So I'm surprised I wasn't taken to this, but I guess it was probably mostly because my dad did not want to see this multiple times.
No, dude, it didn't. I remember it wasn't busy when I saw it. And people bitched. It made money, but people did bitch. I mean, it was the word on the street was not good. Yeah. So and again, this is Mad Max on water. Yes, and Waterworld's not unique, though. I'm going to fight and say because it's made by Americans, like there's far more story, heart, soul, and I mean, as much as I love the Mad Max series, that's a good example of like that's not like that takes a back seat.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like this, there's a lot more talking, there's a lot more discussion, shit like that. So
a lot of lore.
I guess. What's up?
A lot of lore.
Yeah, and I wonder maybe if that's a big problem. Is that it's Mad Max and water, but there's a lot of talking, a lot of world building, and that tends to like not be. Maybe people wanted more of an action movie, which is funny because that's what they got. The Ulysses cut's not that, but the theatrical cut is an action movie. So I don't know. This whole time I'm just going to be going back to the fact that I don't really get why this is hated because everything about this works. Costner is a great bad guy,
He's such.
Or no, I'm sorry, Hopper.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's one of the issues. Is Costner's the hero and he's a bad guy.
But 5 years later, it'd be like the norm, I shouldn't say 5 years, but Sopranos, I would argue, started that being the trend, and I think ever since then we don't ever have a hero anymore. Every hero is an anti-hero.
Did you ever see the Waterworld stunt show at Universal?
More than I think I could count. I would say I was there the first year it opened, and then I saw it every year until, I don't know, 2010. Fucking one of the best things ever. When the plane crashes at the end and splashes the audience. Oh, dude. I was at Universal Orlando since the opening of Jaws.
No. Which it's not at Universal Orlando anymore, right?
Closed in 2016.
Yeah.
I never got to say goodbye. It kind of makes me sad. Yeah, but that's impressive that it went that long.
And it's
was that something you ever got to see?
I think I saw it as a kid. I don't have the recall for it like I do the Indiana Jones one, but it's still running in California. So one of these days.
Yeah. I hate to be that guy. I don't acknowledge California's Universal Studios. I understand that's like
but it has a stunt show. It has a stunt show.
That's not the real Universal Studios. That's the movie shit. It's like the Orlando was the one that like really fucking opened up. California kept copying it. I get it, but I don't know.
I'm all about the stunt show.
It's like Disneyland.
But I'm all about the stunt show. We don't get like stunt shows just aren't as in vogue as they used to be and should be.
I'm waiting for the day that MGM Studios closes the Indiana Jones stunt show. Like it's happening any day.
Yeah, I would fight you on that, but it wouldn't shock me. Thankfully, I mean, every time I've gone, it is absolutely packed. So probably the time that I go where then it's not, it's like, oh, yep, this is the beginning of the end.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's going to go because it's doing bad. I just don't trust. Is it Eisner or Eigner? I forget which one it is. It was running Disney World. I don't know. I just feel like the parks they're doing stupid stuff now. It should survive. It should, because they could just keep making new Indiana Jones. And like I said, the stunt shows are great. The Waterworld was a great stunt show, especially for being as tight as it was. Like, with the Indiana Jones, they changed locations, they moved shit a lot.
Yeah.
The stunt show for Waterworld, you're pretty much just in the little town with essentially like the takeover. Yeah. And for it being sort of centralized like that, I'm very impressed with what they did. The plane ending is to this day impressive. I think I was watching a video on it like a month ago. Just there's a great one on YouTube that 4K gets a fucking perfect seating. It's like,
yeah, I saw some video from, it was the guy who plays Dennis Hopper, like fucking with people with his, like, it's amazing. It's like, that's the best part about those kinds of shows, the little interaction with the crowd. I hate crowd work for a stand-up comedian. Love it for a stunt show.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
One moment that I want to talk about, because I think it's if not my favorite moment in the movie, I think it's the funniest moment in the movie, where Costner is cutting off Jan Triplehorn's hair, and then Enola like yells at him to stop, and he notices that she stole her crayons, and it does the cutaway to Enola not having, like, she has super short hair.
Yeah, it's like both of them. Yeah.
I legitimately had to pause. I was laughing so hard because it's just the cutaway. I love a good cut, like edit, like where the humor comes from the edit, and like that cutaway is so funny to me.
It's funny you mention that, because when I was a kid, this is gonna sound really strange. Because of this movie, I had such a crush on Gina Triplehorn, which is funny because she's like such a mom. I fucking like was in love with her. I don't know, just
because of the ass shot.
Yeah, it's probably the ass shot and brunette. Yeah. But I remember So I found it funny this last time I saw it, but my whole life I found it unfunny because I thought she looked worse with short hair, and I was like heartbroken that Kevin Costner like made Triple Horn uglier, and so like I kind of took it personally. But a little kid, I guess I'll give you that because who gives a shit? But like,
did you notice like that Jan Triplehorn's hair is like there's like stuff on the side that he didn't cut. He did like a terrible job with it.
It was just like to embarrass her. Yeah, it was great. And again, it is funny, but it's mean. So once again, our hero, and that's not like 10 minutes into the movie. That's like in the middle, right? I'm trying to think like where it's when the boat gets not destroyed, but gets like messed up, right? 'Cause she fucking shot the arrow into the plane. That's that part, right?
Yep. So it's like all the plane stuff right after that.
So we've gone through sort of like a couple moments where he should be warming up, and we're back to that. I love the idea that every step forward we take, there's always a step back, and it's him just being an ass. Like I think it's before or after when he's cutting up the cherry. And he's eating it slowly, and they're looking at the sort of juice and seeds, and he goes and fucking licks it up right before they get to it.
Like, he's such a dick. Like, and I mean, he even, I think that's actually in the theatrical cut as well, where right when they get on the ship, after they leave the atoll, he wants to throw her overboard.
Yeah, so I'm like, killing the kid because there's not enough space.
Yeah. He's like, we don't have enough food and water for this. Like, what? And they're taking on water was another thing. Where he's like, yeah, it's too much weight. Or it's like, what? This 70-pound girl? That is clearly just him having an excuse.
Yeah, it doesn't water. Yeah, she's useless. Again, a great thing. A great thing that in any movie now, that would be the only thing that happens. And then 20 minutes later, he would be like a protector.
Yeah. Because he's a pragmatic survivor.
Yes. Yes, he's not the man with no name. He's not cool. And I really appreciate that, only because it's just so easy to make him cool. And you should make him cool. This is we were like, he should be cool. So the fact that he's not, I'm really appreciating. He's like you said, everything he does is like, well, no, this is how we live.
Yeah.
He's just out making sure that he wakes up tomorrow. Yep. So all his decisions are based on that. Him not letting Kim Coates rape Triple Horn only happened because he basically was like, okay, fuck it. I don't want to be this bad. Like, but he was okay with it.
Yeah.
He was okay with it. So it's like, he's not evil. It's not that there's no morality, but like, it's just, yes, but you make a trade. So I like the fact that it got that far. I think that's good writing. It's writing that we don't see nowadays, because I don't think the nuance of those characters really exists, especially in mainstream. Like you saw Rebirth. I haven't seen it because fuck Jurassic Park outside the first. I'm sorry if that offends anybody, but I'm assuming those mercenaries, right? Mercenaries kill. Mercenaries aren't good people. Tell me how dark Johansson was, or Mahershala Ali. Tell me there's like, I bet they weren't. I bet they're actually good fucking people. Maybe one moment of like, ooh, that's a little shady.
Yeah, they're not dark in any way. There's like one dark dude, and he was my favorite character. Like Rupert Friend, he's essentially the InGen employee who wants the money. I'm like, yeah, I like this guy a lot.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like the mercenaries. I'm not saying they need to be good people or bad people, but like, do you remember Rambo? There's this bald guy, and he just kept talking shit. It's like, you fucking boatman, get me here fucking quicker. He didn't give Rambo a chance until the very fucking end when he saves him. But it's like, okay, that's how you write a mercenary. Sure, there could be a redemption arc, but like, it makes sense with his job and his life that's the attitude he'd have. The Mariner makes sense. This world outside of the atoll, it's, it is a cruel world. Like, there is that American optimism, but he takes every interaction with the sense of, okay, is this where I'm going to have to kill this person? Or are they going to kill me, or we're going to trade and go about our way? So it makes sense that he acts this way. It just, it, like you said, it's practical, it's pragmatic. And I just feel like we've really got away from that. I think the younger generations don't like feeling complicated.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be that guy that blames a younger, I know it's such a corny thing to say, but.
Yeah, like more black and white, good guy, bad guy dynamic, which, yeah, I like the more the gray. It actually feels more true to life.
It's more interesting.
What did you think of Dennis Hopper and his whole eye situation?
I've loved it as a kid. I love it now. I love that. And again, it's played for humor. I don't remember there being anything really extended about the eye in the Ulysses cut, but you might have a better memory than I. I think this is one of Hopper's best roles. I know that's not a popular thing to say. Hopper was always a bad guy for hire, and he's even admitted that. I mean, he was going to do another Speed movie before he died, and he has a quote that I remember reading actually in Joe Blow, where he goes, "I'm just trying to find a nugget of gold in a river of shit." So I say that to say that this is a man who wasn't above taking a paycheck role, and I don't know if this was or not, but I know that he showed up, and I think he was so fun in this. He's such a fun, goofy, wacky bad guy who's having the time of his life, and the fact that the eye thing is a consistent, or I should say, reoccurring kind of gag in this, I love. And I love, we don't do this ever anymore, is that a villain or a hero gets like injured, and that injury sort of changes the trajectory of the movie. I shouldn't say the movie, but like the character. So Hopper's eye thing is a problem for the rest of the movie. And he had an eye at the beginning. I like that. We don't do that a lot. Like, okay, we maim a character. We do something that kind of fucks with them. And again, I think it's just more for the humor, but I think it works. Also, there's not a single thing that doesn't work for this.
Doesn't he blame Kevin Costner for his eye? But isn't it the guy that like blows up, that he accidentally shoots like his own?
But Costner stabs the little harpoon in the boat and pulls the boat towards.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's responsible, but I mean, also it's like, blame your fucking people, man, for not like taking the finger off the trigger. And I think that, they do make a good point about how dumb all these people are.
Yeah.
Because in this cut, there's where Costner gets into the ship, which I love that it's essentially this giant, like, I don't know, oil rig that they row like a boat, but he takes the speed or jet ski and kills a guy. And that was never in the theatrical cut. And then the guys essentially laugh and make fun of the guy that's dead. And just go about the day. I was like, oh, that's little things like that where everybody's kind of crazy and just fucking out of their minds in this boat. Like they don't care. And they assume Costner is like one of them. And they're just like, oh, you killed Jimmy. And they're like, I quit Jimmy. He always stood in the wrong spot. And they laugh and leave. I'm like, oh, that's like world building that like shows you, man. These fucking people, all they do is smoke cigarettes and hang out. I love that they're smoking cigarettes without any dirt. You know?
When he does do the jet ski death in the theatrical cut. It's just extended. We get to see like the people, the guy who like, cause he looks over and sees the two guys and they're like fucking Gary. No, that doesn't show them at all. Like he just kills the guy and then it cuts to whatever, like Costner's on the boat. So we just get more context of
but the attitude, though, is what I'm saying. That I love that interaction because it shows you like nobody gives a shit about anybody else. Everybody's, I guess, kind of crazy. They're just smoking and hanging out.
Yeah, they're just trying to survive.
But there's a wackiness to it, which usually is something I'm against. And maybe it's because it's always been this movie, but in this cut, I think them really world building shows you how crazy everybody is. Just essentially living on zero food, very little water, and
Smeat, I think is what it was called. This essentially spam in those cans. I think it was called Smeat. He's
like throwing them over. He's like giving people spam and cigarettes. Yeah. He's like a little dictator. Yeah.
It's like Immortan Joe from Mad Max Fury Road. And then like
without the water for a little.
Yeah, or just give them enough. Because once you see all the people, you're like, not everyone is not eating. That's for damn sure. They did not drop enough.
No. It's he's a dictator, but he's like so charming that they follow him. And I also think just people are probably crazy.
Yeah.
Not because they're crazy for any real reason. It's just they're not eating or drinking enough, and they're on just this one ship, and conditions are probably terrible. You know.
Yeah. I think most people would be crazy.
Yeah. It's fun. It's fun. It world builds. It's like world building Mad Max with context. I mean, yes, you could argue that works better when they don't tell you because it's what you don't know that's more interesting. But I'm fucking fully invested in this world building and lore. That all makes sense.
It's funny because you keep saying Mad Max, and it's like this really is like the antithesis of Mad Max. In that in Mad Max, it's like the ocean's drying up, and it's just being a bunch of desert. And now it's just like the opposite, where it's like, yep, he's got a whole shit ton of water everywhere.
And no land, yeah. It's water. It's Mad Max and water. Which, I mean, listen, I know you probably won't agree with this. This is better than, I would say, majority of the Mad Max movies. There's a couple that I like more than this.
But, yeah, I like Fury Road and Furiosa a lot, but I don't like the original trilogy.
Oh, you don't like Road Warrior?
It's fine. That's they're not my kind of pacing. There's a lot of stuff where I'm just not as drawn into it. I put Waterworld above the trilogy. I'd have a hard time with like Fury Road. I think is a 10 out of 10 and love it so much. And I love Furiosa too. So I'd have a tough time with Furiosa and Waterworld. There's a lot of parallels there though.
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest influence.
Yeah.
And I feel like it just came out the wrong time. You know, I really do. And maybe Costner didn't help it, but being the lead, I disagree. But that's a fair argument. I think if this came out a decade earlier, it can only come out earlier. If it came out any later, it'd have to come out now, and everybody's too old.
Yeah,
and it wouldn't be made practically.
I was gonna say, as much as you say it came at the wrong time, I think that if it came at any other time, we wouldn't have gotten these amazing sets, the crazy awesome shots of the ship just sailing along. Because I think it would have just been done so much cheaper. It would have been a lot more green screen, a lot more tank work.
Yeah, I mean, you're not. I don't know. If it's later, you're right. I still think it could have been made in like 91 or 88 or 89, but. I do think the reason we got it is because Costner was just a rising star, and he was bankable.
Yeah.
And
we should say this started as a Roger Corman movie.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, originally, yes.
Yeah. So the only reason it even became a blockbuster was Costner getting on board. So
yes, Costner's movie.
Yeah. So it's as much as I would bitch too about like, Costner. Definitely an egomaniac here. It's like, well, we wouldn't have this without him. So
no. He's the reason it filmed in the ocean.
Yeah.
No. Costner's ego is the best thing that ever happened in this movie. And as somebody who likes him, it's like, I don't give a shit. Yeah. We got a stunt show, a great movie, great toys as a kid. No, did everything about this.
And, a Virtual Boy video game.
See, this would be a great fucking video game now, though. More open world, just sailing the water. I mean, you got me into the, so I didn't have a PlayStation before, but the Mad Max game on the PS4 is fantastic. It's just do that with water and I'm fucking happy.
That would be incredible. Yeah, there'd be a lot of good stuff, especially, I mean, you just make the water something that you can't get into, otherwise a sea creature will get you.
Yeah,
so there's many ways to do it. One thing that the Ulysses cut kind of fucks up is it shows us that the land that they find at the end is actually Mount Everest, which then adds a whole slew of questions because the city that they look at underwater is Denver, which is on the other side of the world. So it's like it's an inclusion that then it's like, okay, I can understand why they cut this, because then it doesn't make any sense as to how they would have reached that area.
That's fair. I mean, that's more movie logic. I assume the Everest was actually meant to be practical and saying, because it's the tallest thing in the world. That's hence why the land exists. But I never caught the city being Denver. But regardless, even if it's not Denver and it's just any city, it's definitely not Nepal.
Yeah.
That's a modern American looking city. So
it's confirmed it is Denver. I didn't just.
No, I'm just saying that I never noticed. But regardless, it being a city doesn't make any sense unless they traveled for fucking 3 months in the other direction. Yeah, I mean, we're jumping around the world way too much.
Yeah, I also didn't notice it, but I saw it in the IMDb that the orca from Jaws is in the city. It's like
no shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't catch that. Yeah, I've always liked the part though.
Yeah, it's miniatures. It's all miniatures, and then they transpose the like Jan Triplehorn and Kevin Costner they were in a tank, and they just transpose it. With like and I like that because I think the whole aspect of is the dirt is that it's that people have hundreds and hundreds of years, and I mean maybe more, I guess, because if people are evolving to fucking with gills. But the idea that like the cities are under them and nobody has any idea, and that's how Costner gets dirt. That's clever. That makes sense, and that's a cool scene.
But no, I mean, to go back to the Everest thing, like, yeah, it's a good logical point about why that land exists, but then completely fucking makes you look dumb because you were just in a city. And it's like, yeah.
Yeah, I get why they cut it. I remember even before the Ulysses cut that there was like that, I don't know, rumor. It's weird to say because it's definitely something I heard as a kid. So, but that was Mount Everest. So I don't know if Costner said something in an interview or just something where it's like, oh yeah, we just figured to be the highest point. But I mean, it also doesn't, the writer also has acknowledged, like, if the polar ice caps melted, it would not cover up all land.
No, nothing, which I forgot about because I've seen the trailer a bunch as a kid, but the trailer guy is in the movie. You know, the ice caps have melted and covered the world. And it's just, that's it. It's just the one trailer guy for like the first like 2 sentences and then never again. And it's just like, oh, they got the trailer guy? That's awesome. It's weird and almost, I don't know, I guess I would argue doesn't make sense.
No, probably it's strange, but it's how we get that amazing, the Universal logo and then the water rising up. Like that's fucking awesome. That is the coolest version of the Universal logo. That's one thing that I will always love is the studio logo, getting a variation for the film itself. That's just the coolest. Like Mars Attacks has something where I'm pretty sure it's the Universal logo again, and then a spaceship, like you can see it like fly around, or maybe the Fox Paramount logo. I can't remember.
Changes the Paramount Mountain for Indiana Jones movies, you know. So it's like, no, yeah, when it integrates in the movie, it's such a cool idea. And this was Universal being real wise, where it's like, if you have the world, make it a Waterworld.
Yeah, it's like it's brilliant. If anything, I would have been upset if Universal wasn't the studio behind this, because it would be like, imagine if it was Universal, because then they could have done this.
You done messed up, guys. Good old Universal. Always been one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah, back in the 90s, they had a good run. I love the old guy that's in the oil. But then when the flare drops, he's like, "Oh, thank God!
Oh, thank God!" And that was always in the theatrical, and I like that. That was the guy. He spits on him and he goes, "Thank you."
It's like
he lives his whole life down there. I think that's fucking great. That's why he's so pale and fragile. His existence is just letting Dennis Hopper know where the oil is.
It's like just a miserable existence. But also, that's what most of these people, they're living a miserable existence. So not a world I'd want to be in.
Dude, it's fantastic. Yeah. Oh, shit. How do you know it? Have a good time. I really don't get it. I don't. Yeah. Like, there's so many things happening that are so fun and so enjoyable. I think it's like you said, it's just the culture. I think this is one of those movies that a handful of people hated when it came out, and whatever reason that happened, it just kind of took off. And listen, most movies that are universally hated do deserve it, but we have to acknowledge that there is a bandwagon effect that happens where people will just not see something and then it becomes a pop culture reference. And then all of a sudden it's just, we have to hate it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've said this many times. I think it's one of the advantages that I have as a critic, in that I get to see movies before there's kind of public discourse about it. And so I get a very untainted viewing experience, because I think people don't understand just how much their opinion, especially regarding movies, can really be shifted by just the public persona. I don't know, public perception of it. Yeah. Where then it's even something like this, it's hard to come back from, because it's the public perception is Waterworld sucks.
And it works both ways. You and me both agree, I think maybe slightly differently, but I didn't see Sinners right away, but by the time I got into it, I was told by every single person it's a masterpiece, and that to think any less, you're a fool. And it's like, well, then I watched it. It's like, well, it's not a masterpiece. Where do I stand then?
Yeah.
You know, and it of course, Waterworld's the opposite, where it's like, oh, it's the worst thing in the world. It's the dumbest thing ever. Why even live? Kill yourself now if you even want to watch one. It's like, what the fuck?
No.
It's like, I don't know. Again, there's times where it makes sense. I will never, ever think Phantom Menace is a good movie. I don't give a shit. If you were 6 when it happened and you grew up and loved it, that's fine. I love dumb things too. But Waterworld to me is a strange entry in this discourse because as a culture, we all like the Mad Max movies. And sure, this isn't Gibson, but for the most part, it hits all those roles well. It has good action, good set pieces, fun villain. The story, I think, is logical and in no way annoying. It's just like I don't really get it. Maybe it's not your favorite, but it's weird. I get Congo being made fun of. As somebody who loves Congo, I fucking get it. It's a talking sign language monkey. Yeah. Fair enough, dude. But for this, I'm like, it's not the same. Why are they grouped in? Answer, Tyler. You're younger. Please tell me.
Dude, that's a good question. I mean, I have no idea why this is given such shit. It's never really made sense to me of the direct hate. Because even when I didn't like it, it was just like, yeah, it's a dumb movie. And then when I actually came around to it, I'm like, wait a minute, it's not a dumb movie. This is an even better movie than I ever realized. And then I have a hard time even understanding where people are coming from with this. Though I am now discovering that I have to buy this film again because the Waterworld 4K that Universal put out is not as good as the Arrow Video one. I am now reading the Arrow Video one apparently blows it out of the water. It has a better encode and it has Dolby Vision. And apparently there's different color grading. Arrow's grading balances the strong blues and more pronounced blues of their previous Blu-ray with more pronounced yellows of the Universal 4K. So it's just like the best transfer out there. Which you watched this on the Arrow one, right? Yeah,
but I have the Blu-ray because I bought it because the 4K didn't exist when I bought this. So it's like the Arrow Blu-ray came out with Ulysses Cut, and I bought it right away because I Waterworld is, I think I've told you this. There's like 5 movies I own that I'm just going to rebuy forever, and for some reason this is one of them. So no, I do got to get the 4K. Normally I wouldn't give a shit, but anything with islands and or water and oceans, I that's one of the few times where I think a 4K upgrade is worthy of purchase.
I mean, finding out that this is just a better transfer, that's all I needed to know. The fact that it has Dolby Vision, I'm like, okay, yep, I clearly need this.
I think there's a sale going on too, dude. We could probably get it for cheap right now, or cheap in quotes.
Oh, there is an Arrow sale going on right now. Oh, I forgot about that. Well, I already know.
By the time somebody hears this, it'll probably be over, and we apologize.
Yeah, that's very true. Sorry, folks. But yeah, there is I mean, I already know why I got the version that I did because the 4K that I have is $13.86, and the Arrow 4K is $32. So
wait, $32 with a sale?
Oh, just on Amazon. I didn't look to see.
I was like that. Yeah, I listen, man. $30 for a movie is tough. We've talked about this. Nowadays they do that, but they also do a bunch of dumb shit, which is give me like a card and a booklet, which I do love. But then it makes every movie $30-$40, and I don't think that's reasonable.
Yeah.
So I would do the same, or I might just hold off and wait for a sale. But what the fuck, man? I guess it's like records now. Records were cheap when I was a kid, and now minimum is $25.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it seems to be I mean, I used to be able, I mean, I guess I still can, but they're always just standard Blu-rays. Like I always used to go store, get like a $5 group of like just a whole pile of $5 Blu-rays. And like, we are so far from that.
Yeah, Blu-ray eventually got down to a price that was so ridiculously reasonable that I think it'll always be my favorite format because I don't think 4Ks will ever get that low. I think that just the world's changed and physical media is just, it's such a rarity now. I think we're just fucked. But man, there was a time where we lived like kings, where I can go to Target and get 6 Blu-rays and walk away with like maybe $25. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I mean, is there anything else you want to talk about with Waterworld? Anything we skipped over?
No. I think we hit all the points. Hopper's great. Kevin's fun. Triple Horn, I think, did fantastic. Tina Majoriano.
Yeah,
I don't know her name. It's funny. I Never caught the fact that she's the twins from Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
But it's so clearly obvious. I'm like, how did I not catch that? No, dude, this is it's one of the best movies, I mean, of its era. It's one of my favorite adventure action movies. I'm biased. I like Costner. I love the ocean. I love water. And if you notice during this summer soiree, that was a big influence in my younger years. So I just leaned towards the shit, dude. 4 stars. Easy.
2 out of 3 movies that we chose for the summer soiree deal with a guy losing his eye and the eye dropping on the floor.
It's a good point. Doesn't Captain Ron have eye jokes?
Yeah.
Eyeball jokes, I should say.
Yeah.
I mean, you, man?
I really, really love this movie, and it's definitely one that I didn't expect to come around to this and to such a degree, but it's incredible. It's one of those films that I try to change people's opinion on because it's that special. And it's tough too, because I think even for a first time viewing, I probably would show the theatrical cut. So I do think that the Ulysses cut is something that I think you need to be down for. Like, you need to be down to stay in this world for 3 hours, which I think can be tough for a first time viewing.
Yeah, but okay. Yes, the only argument I'm going to make is that I wouldn't tell somebody to watch this without them coming over and like, this is one of those movies where as lame as it sounds, I gotta set the setting.
Yeah.
Lights are low. I'm making a couple mojitos. Sounds up fucking loud. I give you like a preamble of like, okay, here's what we're going into. You know, I don't trust people anymore. Like maybe when I was younger, I would like, oh, I'll buy you the movie, or oh, you should watch it. But outside of like close friends now, if a stranger's like, I never saw Waterworld, I'd be like, oh, that sucks. I hope you live a great life. I wouldn't tell them to watch this. How about this? If you've never seen Waterworld and you're not a movie guy, don't watch it. Don't waste your time. Beauty is not for you. I'm sure there's some fucking TV show you could put on that's on Netflix. There's a Netflix movie. Go watch that. You don't deserve Waterworld.
What if suddenly it's like, oh, Waterworld, they're making a TV series, a Netflix TV series.
That would be hell. I would be in hell. I would love more of this, but only in video game form.
Yeah.
You can't, I don't need some fucking tank of water and some studio. I'm good, man. No. I love the excessiveness of older movies, the blatant, foolish optimism of studios spending money. You know, I'm not saying this is Heaven's Gates, but, you know, it's not that far off.
Yeah. No, I agree. Oh, wait. Four stars. Yeah.
4 stars for me. What about you?
Yeah, I'd say 4 stars.
Damn right.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And if anything, I'd be curious because I did a lot of research and pretty much had a Waterworld day yesterday, but I didn't find as much about Kevin Reynolds in terms of his opinion on the film. And I would be very curious to know how he views this, and like especially what he thinks of the Ulysses cut.
I didn't look on my Blu-ray, and maybe we should both look. Is there a commentary?
There is nothing on the thing that I have. So maybe yours has. I mean, yours seems to be better in every way. So like mine doesn't even have behind the scenes stuff. Let's see. The Arrow 4K, there's the 2 cuts. There's reversible sleeve, Dolby Atmos. There's a feature-length making of documentary with extensive cast and crew interviews and behind-the-scenes footage. Dances with Waves, original archival featurette capturing the film's production. The film critic Glenn Kenny exploring the subgenre of ecologically themed end-of-the-world movies. Ooh. And then looks like there's a couple still galleries. So
basically everything's archival, but nothing's new.
Yeah, which that's too bad. Which I guess this is considered the Ulysses cut is European, extended European Ulysses cut. So I guess the fans that made it were European.
Weird.
Yeah.
Oh, good for them. I like the Europeans, and I like the Australians. Even though I was making fun of them earlier, I really do.
Well, I feel like we've done Waterworld now, and we're not ranking our 3 film summer soiree because they're all.
No, you can't.
Phenomenal films. Yeah.
No, yeah. They're on a straight line, boss.
Yep. So we are now getting it back into the horror genre, and we are diving into the Halloween franchise. this will be a fun time. And since we already did the first Halloween for our John Carpenter extravaganza, we are going to have special guest Andrew Hatfield join us to help give us a little bit of a different perspective. And I might watch the TV cut or something, or with commentary. I'll have some more information. That way it makes it a little different from our first podcast on it. But yeah, I'm excited to be able to go over the Halloween franchise because holy shit, are there a lot of them. So should be a fun time, and I can't wait for you guys to hear it. We will see you guys then. See you in the next one. Goodbye.